Hey everyone, welcome back. And we are going to go to color glazing. We're already getting to our final step. So there's color glazing, and then after that is detail color glazing. And let me show you how to do this and some tricks that you can use to really push your contrast a little bit more at the end here in case you lost a little bit of your value scale while you're adding the layers. Okay, let's do it. Totally preference, but I like to put my yellow on the left, my red in the middle, and this is a Cadmium Red Light. And my blue on the outside, and for this example, I'm going to use a cobalt blue. I usually switch either between cobalt or phthalo blue. That's my two preferred, just for my style, the types of blues that I like to use, but it really is up to you as the artist. Okay, so last thing, what are we going to need? The magic tool, the gloss glazing liquid, my favorite. And I'm just going to put it here. Okay, I'm also going to add black and white at the bottom. I know I said do not add white at this part, but I might need it later, and I'll show you the reason why. And black I use pretty commonly when I'm doing my color glazing, and I can show you a trick with that. Just a little bit of white. I don't want to be tempted too much to use this white, to be honest. Okay, so we're at the point right now when we're glazing. What paintbrushes do you use? When it gets down to this point, I kind of like to keep my paintbrushes pretty small. So I'll either use like a tiny filbert like this one, or I will use a round brush. And just to remind you, a round brush kind of comes to a point like this. And I like this too because it's really good for patting in and you get a lot of control over where your paint goes. There's a smaller round one that I can use as well. All right, so I'm going to go back to my filbert though. This one is pretty small, but I think that's okay. All right, so if you want to transition between any of these, the good thing is that these will make an orange, these will make more of a violet, and I'm not really using too many greens in the projects that I'm teaching you at the moment. So I don't need to worry about these two mixing together because they're completely like far away from each other. We have a couple different ways that we can go about this. So if I wanted to add a yellow glaze to this, you really could just take your glaze, add a little bit of yellow. I'm really going to glaze it up. And you could just like honestly go over your darks and your lights, and it's not showing up very much because I've added a lot of glaze, but I'll add just a little bit more pigment to that. And because it is so light, it's not really going to do that much, just slightly change the color of it. So this might be good if you're adding like a warm light or something to someone's skin. Same glaze and apply it over the blue. Now this is showing up a lot more, as you can see, because of the difference in the coolness and the warmness of each. Cool undertone, the cool underpainting, and the warm glazing. But you can still tell that it's blue. It's like not turning green. It's a separate layer. Okay? And let's just do this on our black and white so you can see what that looks like. And we'll do it on the one with the white background, which you'll probably be able to see the most. Okay, very nice. Just a slight transition, doesn't make that much of a difference. Okay. Now, how can you take this yellow and make it appear a little bit darker? You take the yellow, and if you want to make it a little bit darker, you can add a little bit of your black. And how I would probably go about doing this then is add a little bit more glaze since the black pigment is so dark. And it looks a little bit green because there is blue undertone in here. But what I'm going to do is just only kind of apply it to my darkest layers right here. And then I'm going to do a little bit more yellow. And kind of blend it in here. And I might even go a little bit darker, maybe even just pure pigment black with a lot of glaze to really push in my dark values again in this dark area. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to take this dark pigment and apply it to my blue area right here. And I'm putting it on the darkest part of the blue, and you can really see how it's really making the color a lot deeper, even though it is black mixed with yellow. And then we will do the same thing over here. Okay, so you can see a little bit of the difference here. I might even with this yellow, with the grisaille, might even go a little bit more yellow here. And I'm pulling it across even further so you can see what it looks like just on the gray gesso. So it is changing the color of it a little bit, but you can still see all of your values, which is exactly what we want at this point in time. So we'll use red, add a lot of glaze to this. And the first one we're going to do is just take a red and apply it directly with no change at all. So I'm going to lay it down. How about right here? And I might need to use a bigger paintbrush, to be honest. And again, this is a warm underpainting, so it's really just enhancing the orange more. I think that looks really nice. It's very subtle. Next one I'm going to do is on the blue. We'll do the gray next. Now we're doing the gray with the white background. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a little bit of black to this to push in some of the values that we lost. Now we're going to move on to our blue glazing. We're just going to do one strip across. Still very light. That's okay, because if I want to go darker, I can by just letting it dry and then going back again. And this, just adding a layer of blue on top of the blue, is just going to enhance the underpainting. All right, now we're going to do it again by adding a little bit of black to this to push in any values that we've, any of the dark values that we lost along the way.